In the latest step of a long-running saga, the besieged Health Services Union boss Michael Williamson has quit his job as Vice President of Unions New South Wales. The peak body met late today and was ready to swing the axe just days after his beleaguered union was kicked out of the ACTU. Instead, Mr Williamson walked, but he's still refusing to resign as National President of the HSU. He's facing claims that he misused union money while head of the union, and 7:30 understands a forthcoming investigation will raise serious questions about millions of dollars worth of contracts. Hayden Cooper reports.
At a home in suburban Sydney, 3 members of the Health Services Union are reflecting on the leadership of their organisation.
He thinks if I just say it enough times, it must make it true. Yeah. I know. Yeah, I'll strike it lucky. I know. And then
these women work in hospitals. One's a physio, one's a dietitian, and one is a clinical support officer. They volunteer as organisers for the HSU, and they're fed up with the scandal.
There's a culture there that says it's okay.
From the beginning.
But the thing is,
each has come very close to ditching her membership.
For the last 12 months, I have to say, with the discussions with my husband at home, he says to me, why are you still a member? You could actually sponsor a child. Go and sponsor a second child in World Vision. You'd probably do more with your $500 than what you're doing now. You're actually paying for these people to be corrupt. He says you're actually complicit by your actions.
We get hats, we get jackets, and I truly feel like putting them all together, not going out with them and just burning them. You know, people just look at the hats and look at the HSU logo now and they just think credit card, Craig Thompson, Michael Williamson, wrongdoing, prostitutes. It's awful.
It's not just health union members. One long-time senior Labor lawyer is now also speaking out.
The members of this union have been treated like mushrooms for far too long. There are all sorts of people manoeuvring and making public statements and spreading innuendo and so forth, and there is political manoeuvring going on, obviously. I'm not fussed about all of that. What I am concerned about is that the members of this union are given the information they're entitled to immediately.
So all I can say, the nature of the proceedings is that
Josh Bornstein shot to prominence representing maritime workers against Patrick Stevedores in the wharf dispute of the late 90s. Now one of the country's most senior industrial lawyers, he's less than happy with Fair Work Australia and its investigation into the health union.
I am particularly concerned at their most recent announcement by FWA that it is not going to publish its report for another 6 weeks because it says it needs to consider its legal position. I don't think that is a sustainable proposition, and I think Fair Work Australia needs to publish its report immediately so that rank and file members of the Health Services Union get the information that they've been waiting for several years now.
Then there's the looming report by Ian Temby QC. He's taking a close look at the union's spending under its boss, Michael Williamson. 7:30 understands there's a widely held expectation in the union movement that millions of dollars of spending will be questioned. Some members want the report made public.
Oh, look, I think it's absolutely critical. It's one of those areas where once we get this report, some truth will come to light.
Julia Batty and Katrina Hart were interviewed by Mr Temby for the inquiry. They say he's already encountering efforts by key players to stop the report's release.
He said there's already moves afoot to try and stop him putting out the report because some of the names that he's mentioned in the report maybe are afraid or don't like what is written.
And for them to threaten or talk about litigation against a man that we have employed and paid thousands of dollars to do this report for us is just disgusting. Disgusting.
Josh Bornstein's chief complaint is with Fair Work Australia for not releasing its inquiry.
That's unacceptable. It must be extraordinarily demoralising for members of the Health Services Union, and the delay is tarnishing that union, tarnishing the good image of Fair Work Australia, and also, as we see with the ACTU in recent times, tarnishing the image of unions in this country generally.
Many believe this union cannot survive the crisis of confidence. If it does, the members demand more accountability of their leaders at the very least.
We have a right to ask questions. We have a right to demand answers, and we have a right of a voice. We are the union, not the Craig Thompsons, not the Michael Williamsons, not the Peter Mylans, not Chris Brown. We are this union.
Hayden Cooper reporting.